What a sorry excuse for a general Henry is. Drunk as a dwarf again, going on and on about his lost arm. The more liquor disappears down his throat, the more he can still feel it. Wish he had a phantom tongue instead of a phantom limb. The place would be so much quieter.
Commander, it is imperative that we should win the war. For our enemies are godless heathens in need of annihilation. To hasten this process, I therefore propose we introduce conscription. For why have young, able-bodied men sit around or do menial tasks when they could be serving in your armies instead? Your refusal is no more than an encouragement, a celebration even of cowardice. Those who do not step up for the glory of the gods by themselves should have been forced to do so.
Thank you for disagreeing with Yorick, Commander. War is a demanding mistress, and if we give her all she wants, we shall lose our humanity in the process.
If no conscription means there will remain more dwarves in the army than there are elves, I hope we'll be duly recompensed, Commander. We fight so that they may tend to their bloody vegetable gardens in peace.
Very good. I must say, though, I was surprised Falstaff didn't pull the economy card like I did. Conscription might well have drafted some of his precious brewing masters into the military. If those were killed, entire dwarven nations would revolt.
Commander, here was me agreeing with one of Yorick's proposals, and still you disagree. You won't see an opportunity to please both imps and undead pop up again in a hurry.
Well, 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 the Dragon Commander himself. Come, sit, drink with me. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. He's had a few too many. But you'd take to the right too if you had an imp apparatus for an arm. Never told you how I came by this eyesore, did I? 'Twas during the great and glorious last stand to save the Empire. Horseshit! We fought like lions so that the king, your bloody father, could scarper with what riches he could hold. But my soldiers did their duty. They died where they stood, and I was left for dead, want of an eye and an arm. Not that any of it mattered. The king's head was shown decorating a stake. Like star crowns will the pines come midwinter night. Defeat. Bah. Luckily, a touch of the malt can relieve its bitter taste. You have the respect of Maxos. And that certainly speaks in your favor. But you'll need to come a long way yet to prove unto me you're not just another pampered prince he yanked away from his mother's teat. So what'll you have then? Mead or milk? Don't be offended by that last little comment, Commander. 'Twas kind of you to say I did my duty. The word meant something to me back in the day.
That was a bit touch and go there. To win, to lose, all in a day's work, apparently. I'd say it's going well, but don't be afraid to be a little daring there, Commander. We need to push forward relentlessly or risk being driven back. If you wish. Anyone in particular? General Henry is the typical man who thinks of him.
It's tough to swallow both victory and defeat when both are dealt out in equal portions. But we must partake, mustn't we, Commander? As far as I can tell, our enemies are quaking firmly in their boots. Good sign as any, really. About whom, Commander? Bit stuck up.
The Raven sang new songs last night, my lord. Want to see the things she showed me?
What? Oh, it shall be my...
What a sorry excuse for a general, Henry.
Thank you for disagreeing with Yorick, Commander.
Your refusal is...
spy upon Edmund's pride, Commander. The Lizard Lords have granted him the honor of representing our mighty military on a diplomatic mission of utter import, and he gets his knickers in a twist because it comes with a spot of sacrament alien to our ways. I should think it would be good fun to attend an imp ceremony. Something is bound to blow up. Isn't that what the generals normally like?
Imps, Commander. Are they not truly the lowliest of all the races? Were it not for the hint of demon cunning in their blood, we most probably wouldn't speak to them as much as serve them for supper with a series of seasonal stuffings. As it is, however, the Lizard Lords have deemed it fit to strengthen the military cooperation between ourselves and those demoniacal dewdrops. I'd exhale an existential sigh upon the hearing of such folly, yet give it no further thought but for one devilish detail in the treaty. It is I, as our foremost general, who must, quite literally, stoop to inspect their armies. An impish high priest will be present, figures fit for farce that are greeted and received with ridiculous amounts of highly ritualized protocol. As Henry might say, Commander, I'd rather lick marmalade from an orc's behind than bow to an imp. My very reason for currying your draconic benevolence at this hour. Certainly I have your blessing to abstain from these grotesque formalities and tend to business rather than etiquette. Your wish, my command, et sorry cetera. But if there indeed be hoops, the snapping of little necks will be added to the ritual.
I must say, I don't envy Edmund, Commander. He's to bow and scrape afore an imp of all things. If 'twere any other general, I'd publicly protest. But that conceited tosser deserves to kiss dust once in a while. Remind him he walks the earth just like the rest of us. Well, except you, perhaps.
Under my rule, you'd be given the Cross of Bravery for that last action, Commander. Well done. Very well, wouldn't you say? The end is perhaps not yet in sight, but victory is looming along the horizon like a mist out at sea. Let us hope, unlike the fog, it shan't evanesce.
Our victory was so complete, I can taste it. You did well by us, Commander. We may well, but it still takes but a look upon the globe to see enemy colours all about us.
Raven sang new songs last night, my lord. Want to see the things she showed me?
Step by step, you bring us closer to our goal. An empire united in peace.
It would seem Edmund has come back from his inspection duties among the imp armies already. I had expected tales of mayhem to precede his reappearance. In fact, I bet Henry the lizards and imps would be at war as soon as he set foot among them. But no. All the better, of course, though a little disappointing.
Commander, I am pleading here today on behalf of a dwarven miner who was cruelly left to his fate by his own kindred. An incident in the mines cost him his leg, and he is too poor to pay for a proper prosthetic one. Henry, your own general, could afford impish machinery, but the dwarves, who easily could as well, will not provide for their stricken fellow. Well, I say they should. Indeed, the state should. We can. So why not do so?
Just like diseases, accidents are simply punishments from the gods. If this misbegotten dwarf lost a leg, he probably took the Seven's names in vain, or forgot to say a prayer before dinner, and they saw it fit to make him attentive of his sin. Paying for his convalescence would be tantamount to forgiving his trespass, which only the gods have the least to do.
If the state should pay for each and every work accident, for every broken nail and broken leg, we'll be paying through the nose, and it's your finances that'll be crippled. Mark my words, Commander. Listen to that bleeding heart elf, and the treasury will bleed the more for it.
Oberon's tale is a shocking one, Commander. If this miner suffered such a dreadful injury while working, then the mining corporation in charge should pay for his treatment. And if they won't or cannot, then yes, the nation should.
There are more with a prosthetic limb than without among us imps. Comes with the territory, I suppose. All those volatile war machines. Most of our top inventors have more metal than meat to them. And of course, it's only fair the government chips in where they can.
Commander, I am pleading here today on behalf of a dwarven mine. The people deserve a kind emperor and a generous one too. You are both, Commander.
So then you do forgive, and you do what is the prerogative of the Seven. Remember pride and fall, Commander. It's a long way down from the Raven.
But this will cost us millions! Once word gets out, every lazy bones in the land will feign a headache and cash a handout. This is insanity!
This decision will endear you in the hearts of many, and shame the dwarves for the neglect of their own brother. All in all, I'd say this has been a productive day.
Thanks, Commander. Took about 100 imps a hand and a foot to get your jetpack in working order. So paying for a couple of metal fingers and toes is the least you can do in return, wouldn't you say?
Commander, no doubt you rejoice at my swift return from the land of imps, that borough of blight, that cyst in civilization. Returned have I to more glorious heights. The gods I'd thank if I believed in any. Do forgive me if I appear exceptionally smug today, but I was very flattered, you see, to witness how my reputation precedes me even into the very crevices of the world. The imps had heard of my approach and my modicum of resentment for their rituals. I was therefore pleasantly surprised to be greeted with a cordial handshake no more. Yes, he was rather an agreeable chap, as a matter of fact. The High Priest, I mean. After the military inspection, we played chess and talked philosophy the night through. It goes without saying I won every game and lacerated his logic like an eagle its prey. But he was not as devoid of all intellect as I had expected his entire species to be. A comforting thought, somehow, knowing you trust them to strap explosive engines to your back.
Frightfully boring folk, those lizards, Commander. That general of yours held our high priest hostage with board games and chatter. Our engineers built a great tower just to blow it up again. A great gift for the envoy of our allies. But did he come and watch? No. Preferred conversation to combustion. What a nincompoop.
Sneaky bastards, those enemy commanders. Sure did a number on you this time. I think you've got things well in hand. Don't be too cocky, but don't hold back either. We're hot on the enemy's trail, but rush in, and you might get ambushed. Which one do you have it? Well...
You look like you're in need of some consolation, Commander. Come have a drink with me. As far as I can tell, our enemies are quaking firmly in their boots. Good sign as any, really.
Grumio, son of Gromio, let's ready.
Never mind a mishap or two, Commander. Keep calm and carry on. It shall be my honor.
When Catherine is out of sorts, there seems to be no escaping her ire, Commander. I do understand her, though, for whilst equality among the civilized races is not to be found, I do uphold that women are every bit as capable as men, provided they are lizards.
Typical of Catherine to get miffed over money. I don't care what they pay me as long as I get to brawl and booze.
Yikes, what a vixen! Can't dear old Cathy be happy with the wages she gets? Not like she has to cook or clean.
Listen here, Commander, for I have a matter of great import that I should like to bring to your attention. In the realm I ruled, that rule was absolute, as was that of my vassals, women all, of course. We concerned ourselves with matters of mastery and the mind. Men with all things menial, according to the natural order. On this ship, however, I find myself trapped amid so many cocks of the walk, the one more swollen with self-importance than the next, only to discover these pompous windbags actually earn more wages than Scarlet, Prospera, or I do. If anyone, it is we of the superior sex who should sooner receive more silver and gold than those of the savage variety. You'll set right this iniquity, Commander, and you'll do it now. You'd have me beg, would you? Perhaps you're one of those, petty and puny, in need of power to perform. Forget it, Commander. I won't give you this satisfaction. Run a chauvinist ship if you must, but I'll not debase myself for the likes of you. Now leave me be.
Yikes, what a vix...
Ridiculous man. I do have a magic word for you, Commander, but I assure you it is not please.
How's that jetpack without delay, my lord?
Step by step, you bring us closer to our goal. An empire united in peace. It shall be my honor.
When Catherine is out of sorts, there seems to be no escaping her ire, Commander. I do understand her, though, for whilst equality among the civilized races is not to be found, I do uphold that women are every bit as capable as men.
Commander, the war is displacing a great many people, and thus the influx of a great many foreigners into the realm is inevitable. Many of them are driven to crime by want or ill will. To that effect, I propose that if a foreigner is found guilty of an offense, he or she should be deported immediately. Delinquency is on the rise, and we need a few effective deterrents to curb its proliferation.
Foreign criminals seem to abound like sand on the beach these days, Commander. Let's be rid of them like Falstaff suggests. In fact, the sea would be as good a border as any to make them cross. Yes, let them drown for their misdeeds.
Many criminals inhabit our realm, Commander. Such is the unpleasant reality. Some of them are domestic, some of them are foreign. Punish them when they are caught, but do not make the distinction.
Commander, the war is displacing a great many people.
Oberon and I are of the same mind in this matter, Commander. Deportation just seems a bit excessive. And I very much doubt it's the structural solution Sir Silvervein hopes it to be.
No, Commander. Falstaff has it all wrong. We imps force foreign convicts to do all sorts of dirty and dangerous jobs. Why deport when we can make them drudge?
Capital, Commander. Let others provide for this petty riffraff. We'll have none of them no more. Solves jail overcrowding, too. We're killing 2 burglar birds with 1 stone here.
Wonderful. Let's organize ferries to Shark Point. Once deported there, there's no way these vermin will ever make it back to our 7 blessed shores.
I think you're setting a dangerous precedent, Commander. Associate foreign with criminal, and you'll give rise to all kinds of mischief.
Capital, Commander.
Your call, Commander. But don't come crying to me if vigilantes sprout like mushrooms and start dispensing their own unique brand of justice.
This is sheer folly, Commander. Now we'll have to use domestic scallywags to do all the nasty chores. That's like discrimination in reverse.
Combat and carnage! Huzzah! You showed them, Commander. As far as I can tell, our enemies are quaking firmly in their boots. Good sign as any, really.
Were that I were the monarch and you the general, I'd kill for one of your powers, whereas you hardly have need of us. I'd say it's going well, but don't be afraid to be a little daring there, Commander. We need to push forward
You triumphed yet again. Keep up this pace, and the war will be over in no time. The war could still go either way, Commander. But if I were a betting man, and I am, having been dealt the hand you're holding, I'd go all in without looking back.
Another battle lost and won. Or in your case, one full stop. To a degree, yes. To an equal degree, no. Everything still lies in the balance, and you're the one to tip it in our favor, if you can.
Grumio, son of Gromio, to be my...
Step by step, you bring us closer to our goal. An empire united in peace. And so it came to pass that the Dragon Prince was initiated in the ways of war, and caught the attention of his siblings. Whereas the prince had been but a flea in his half-brother Carthan Axehand's coat, the dread Decapitator now took full notice of what turned out to be a dragon, and so in turn did the others. Yes, it was in the heartland of Rivellon that the war would be decided between the last of Sigurd's children. Carthan remained a threat, as did his sister Sybil the Silent, who had cut out her own tongue a long time ago to stop the voices in her head from babbling. And then there was Farran the Fleshless, who was convinced he wasn't human at all, but rather an undead, which he would demonstrate by slicing the flesh from his body. Such was the crazed company the Dragon Prince would have to fight. Such were the terrors he would have to overcome. And the way he did so is still studied by all strategists in Rivellon today. I have news for you, Commander. Great, grave, or gratifying, I'll leave its interpretation to you. The fact of the matter is your victories have gone far from unnoticed. That much you knew. But they have also gone a long way toward uniting a shattered realm. It has therefore been announced that you are to marry, for that will bolster the populace's spirit and cement your power as Emperor. Soon the finest princesses in the land will be here, bidding for your hand in marriage. I dare say it will. But do not please take this matter lightly, Commander. Of course, I hope your wife shall turn out to be a charming girl indeed. But this, above all, is a political bond, meant to strengthen the ties between you and the faction she belongs to. Love, I'm sorry to say, has very little to do with it. But of course, I may be proven wrong. Perhaps it is even best that I had. Not as such, no. You don't want to get married, because that would be a bit of an imposition. The decision has been made, you see. Matters such as these, even an emperor has to accept without remonstrance. Still, there are worse things than tying the knot, surely. Very well, Commander. And while you fantasize about pretty princesses, I'll continue my studies. Grumio may find his inspiration in dreams, but I'll stick to books, thank you very much. A wizard likes his nose between the pages, rather than his head in the clouds.
So, Oberon is putting poof nuptials back on the agenda, is he? When will those blasted elves realize marriage is about procreation, not pleasure or passion? Can't these queers be happy with what they have? Used to shoot 'em on sight barely a century ago.
Commander, I intend to propose legislation later today that will make it possible for gay couples to be married. I know I'll get some pretty stiff opposition from Falstaff and especially Yorick, so I'm hoping I can count on your support. Sir Falstaff raises some proper concerns about family values and the likes, but that holier-than-thou collection of bones will prattle on and on about gods and such nonsense. Nothing we can't handle.
Seven wither Oberon's tongue for uttering such perversions. He and his depraved ilk would allow men and women to fornicate with others of their own gender. How base, how vile can one become? God save us from this debauchery.
Commander, could you spare me a moment? Now, I know I'm a general and politics isn't my field of expertise, but I was hoping you'd support Oberon in his attempts to allow marriage for people of the same sex. It's a pet peeve of mine, you see. Live and let live, I say. Why do others get to decide who someone may or may not love? None of their bloody beeswax. So much hypocrisy would be exposed for what it is, you know. Think of the famed lizard artist Delegecko, for instance. Everybody knows he's gay, but he was forced to marry a duke's daughter. 2 lives made miserable because of senseless so-called moral objections. The whole business is unconscionable if you stop and think about it. Thanks, Commander. You're a doll. I'd give you a kiss that'd blow your jetpack off if you weren't off limits.
Seven wither Oberon's tongue.
Your latest victory was awe-inspiring, Commander. The enemy trembled with fear. Hold your horses, Commander. We're barely out of the stables yet. Ask me again after we've conquered more than a couple of farmyards.
I can't wait to see the look on Yorick's face, if you can call it that, when he hears the news. Can I be the one to tell him? Please, can I? It'll be like a kick in the teeth.
You fight with cunning, Commander, and you lead by example. Your example, of course, was I. Your enthusiasm is admirable, Commander, but I fear it is rather misplaced. Actually, grossly misplaced is the proper term. Anyone in specific? He is a bull that holds... I'd conclude that...
fire and steel, cogs and wheels. Let's get cracking, my lord. Righto, my lord.
What? Oh, gladly shall I...
Commander, I intend to propose Sir Falstaff.
So, Oberon,